Welcome back to the Matt Fryer Golf Podcast, and we have a show of predictions for you today, Tom. It's going to be an exciting one.
I predicted you'd be more tanned after 2 weeks in Dubai, Matt.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. I actually think I got whiter. I got pastier as I was out there. I even went for a day where I didn't have any suntan lotion on. It was 33 degrees, and I still managed to reflect the rays away from me.
Do you just go a little bit red and then back to pasty again? Is that
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, me being a sun-soaked god, a god is never going to happen, unfortunately. But it is December. We're back. It's me. It's Tom. We are going to be looking into the future in this podcast, and then I think next week we'll be doing a bit of a reflection upon the year that has gone by. But we've got three things that we're going to be looking throughout the pod today. Like I say, we're going to be doing some predictions of who's going to be the number one YouTube golfer, what pro golf is going to look like in 2025, and then also more on your part, what will my golf look like for 2025. We've obviously established a bit of a journey that we want to take the viewers on over on the main channel, so we'll be diving into that. We've also got some listeners' questions, and I've also, instead of a would you rather, Tom, we've got the golfing genie.
The golfing genie.
The golfing genie is going to be with us this week, and
this
he's
is
going to
like That's So Raven podcast. Seeing into the future. Remember that Disney Channel?
Oh my God, yeah.
Should do that face and then see into the future.
Wow, yeah.
I feel like that's where we are.
So the golfing genie is going to grant you your 3 golfing wishes, and if you've got any wishes as well for your golf for 2025, fire them into the comments or fire us an email. In fact, info@mattfrygolf.co.uk and title them Golfing Genie. We want to know your 3 wishes for your golfing career for next year, and we'll read a couple of them out on the pod next week. So before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you are following us on all the platforms. Did you listen to the Pete Finch episode last week?
Big fan I am of this podcast, so I listened to episodes.
It was interesting. It was weird doing it in the clubhouse with everything going on. There was obviously a lot of background noise in it, and it was a little bit hectic, but it was quite an interesting conversation. And
I really enjoyed the part where you were both talking about production quality as a coffee machine started going off really loudly.
Yeah. The irony was not spared there, definitely. But yeah, it was quite a good guest. And looking at that now, where are we? We're Thursday today. We've got a big video coming out with Pete next week. Andy Carter's on it as well. We're breaking 50 at St Anne's Old Links in a 30 mile per hour wind.
Yep, I don't think you are. I've not seen the video. I don't think you are.
Do you not?
No.
I won't.
That would be my guess. I think you miss it by... We're doing a prediction episode. Yep. So I'm going to say you got to... I'm going to say 58.
58. So it's a par 72. So what would that be? 14 under?
14.
Okay. Yeah. We started off like a house on fire, and it was good.
And then you got cold.
No.
No?
No. Got warmer.
Okay.
We huddled like little penguins all the way around. We were like a tribe of 3 king emperor penguins marching around St Anne's Old Links to break 50. Bryson's not been able to do it on his channel, which is obviously where the inspiration came from. So we thought we'd go to St Anne's Old Links, which, by the way...
Bryson's a chopper.
Wow, big statement. He does it off the front tees.
Yeah.
So he's like hitting 6 irons into par 4s, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The front tees at St Anne's Old Links, how far do you think they are?
5'2".
The main course, well, that's a good guess. They're 5,468 yards.
Okay, so not the shortest of tracks.
No, we were like, oh yeah, we'll go off the reds because that'll be front tees. We'll get a little bit of leeway there. That'll help us out. And it was like, we've not had a drivable par 4 yet.
You'll probably find quite a few yellow tee courses around sort of Warrington and Manchester being near that length, you know.
Yeah, like Warrington off the yellows or greens or blues or whatever they've changed them to now is 6,000 off one of them, and then it goes to like 6,300 off the backs.
That's the most. Okay.
Yeah, interesting. But it was a great video that comes out next week. We've also got, obviously you mentioned Dubai. We've got the lowest round I think it's the lowest round ever shot on YouTube history.
I don't text you very often.
I know,
but
it's
I
great.
had to text you after seeing that round.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
How is that even? I can't
Go
even
and-
comprehend it.
That's going to be out next Monday. We played Alzora with Freddie. I can't remember Freddie Price, I think his surname. We actually nicknamed him Freddie LaCrue all the way around, and that's all I can think of now. But yeah, we played, and in the red, the course was awesome. Like the greens were so good. The weather obviously helped. It was 33 degrees, hardly any wind.
You had the out of bounds stakes out.
Yeah, I tried putting him off with a little bit of glare from it, just sort of bouncing the sunlight into him. But there was some serious golf played that day. So that is going to be a mega video. Make sure you go over and watch that one. But
did Matt Fryer play serious golf, or was it?
I played good.
Yeah,
good. Like really good.
You did claim in, I think it was the last podcast before you went away, that you were blaming the climate of the UK. So
yeah.
If that's true, then
yeah,
fair enough.
I rolled the rock. I wedged it well. I drove it well. Hit some great iron shots. Yeah, big video.
Still got beat by a lot of shots.
No. I do honestly think it's the lowest score, 18-hole stroke play, that is on YouTube. I've been searching. I can't find one lower.
Okay.
Unless you obviously like take a 59 from the tour, but you know that doesn't count. I think it is the lowest score.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I want to know what's gone on.
Yeah,
I should text you more often.
It was like, oh right, okay, this is getting serious as we were going round, and the course itself, like I say, was mega, and Fred was a great guy, really helpful all the way around. He's actually only been there for about 8 weeks. He just moved out to Alzor to become the head pro and the head coach there. So he was a really good course guide for us, giving us some lines. Obviously, he's not been there long. Played, I think he said about 10 rounds there, but really helped us on our way, which was great. So two very big videos next week.
Well, it's good to have you back in sunny Warrington, Matt.
Yeah, I'm going next week as well. Actually, we stayed and had a week holiday there with the family after we'd done some filming, and one of my friends is still out there because he refused to come home to the snow. He saw the snow was coming down and the ice, and he said, "I'm not doing it. I'm extending my holiday for a week." Which fair play. We're going out to. It's 2 weeks actually. Got me for another week. We're going to go to La Cala and shoot some videos there. Yeah. Some very interesting products coming from Mizuno that we're going to go and be testing out with those guys, and some good stuff. So yeah, exciting few weeks coming, I think, on the main channel. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to that one. But Tom, prediction time.
We are starting.
Do you do like goals for yourself?
Yeah,
I do. And do you do it like for your lessons as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, a lot of that was done with my lessons 3-4 weeks ago, most of it. I was chatting to people, making new notes, and we'd sort of give it the old Jordan Speed ticks and crosses as well of what did you know who's good at
this round this time of year. Justin Thomas always posts his stuff, doesn't he, which is quite interesting. We'll obviously get into... I did that this year, I think in December last year at 4:25, so it'll be interesting to actually sit back and see what I wrote down in the goals. I don't think I looked at them. I think I need to probably be a bit more serious with them.
You wrote goals on New Year's Eve, never looked at them again.
Yeah, I'm not drinking this year. I'm not doing it again, and then, here we are. So, yeah, interesting that, but we're going to go predictions. So the first thing I want to talk about, I think it's been quite an interesting year in YouTube.
I think so, yeah.
There's been a lot of new faces come along. There's definitely, as Pete said, there's a lot more channels out there now, almost, I wouldn't say saturated. I think there's a lot of people that come into it and they disappear quite quickly, not knowing how much work goes into actually doing everything that we do behind the scenes. But there's a lot of good stuff that has come along and stick. Probably the biggest one's Bryson, really. He's not brand new this year, but it seems to be like this year was his content year. He's obviously played his live stuff, but he's really
the guy's got a lot of spare time.
Yeah, he's gone to town on it in 2024. But I'm going to run through a little list, because upon doing this and when I was looking at what we were going to do, I thought the first person who is obviously like the godfather, the king of YouTube, if you want to call it
the
that.
OG.
YouTube golf god, Rick Shields. I thought that he wasn't as far ahead as he was in terms of subscribers. So currently, Rick, and this is on his main channel, not his including Hit and the podcast and stuff like that. Obviously, probably no one listens to that now. Ours is out, but you know,
I've heard the thinking of closing it down.
Yeah, mad things. But currently on his main channel, 2.9 million subscribers. That's incredible.
Staggering amount.
Yeah. That is very, very, very good. We then have coming in second, Good. Mm-hmm. I thought Good for some reason. I don't watch a lot of their stuff anymore. I used to, but I've sort of like I go through cycles of who sort of entertainment channels I'll watch. I thought they were on about 2.5 million. They're actually on 1.7 million currently.
Yep.
There is also the Legends Tour on 1.8 million, but we'll leave that one out.
We spoke about that, didn't we?
Yeah, and obviously Rick guided something about that. I'm not including them. After that, then we have Bryson DeChambeau, 1.6 million. Danny Maud at 1.4 million, and then a notable other who's been flying this year, Grant Horvat, at 927,000. Okay. Now, in 2025, when we sit down and do this podcast again, and we say, did our predictions come true? Who do you think's going to? Do you think Rick's going to be top of the pile still by the end of next year? It is a massive. You know, he's got
gap.
He's got 1.2 and 1.3 on Bryson and Good. But
that's a huge gap. But Bryson has got his foot down, hasn't he, on the accelerator?
Yeah. In fact,
and when you look at the views that Bryson gets, they are huge. I'm sure it's averaging just over 2 million per video.
Helps when you've got people like Donald Trump on there, though, doesn't it?
Of course it does. I mean, regard the access he has, did
a great thing, Bryson. One of the guys, greatest ever to do it.
Good impression. That if you ever
we could get Donald on.
If YouTube ever fails for you, then you've got impressions.
Let me tell you, great guy, Bryson. One of the best. I took him out of break 50, I think. Break 50.
Can you tell me about your putting stroke, please, Donald?
It's not great. You shouldn't watch it. Don't copy, but it works. One of the best. Bryson subs in the last 28 days has got 60,000 subs.
We are talking about this just after hole-in-one challenge.
Wow. In the last 365... Right, my prediction might change now because of this. One of the best. 1.2 million subs he's got in the last 365 days.
The accelerator is to the floor.
So the question was, is Rick Shields going to be up there? Is he going to be number one? He's 1.3 ahead, and that's pretty much what Bryson's got this year. What can he do, though? Like, he's just had Tom Brady as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. I would rather him stay number one just because it's original YouTube channel and Bryson's obviously doing it as a secondary thing. But I think it'll be really difficult to stop Bryson and the speed in which he's growing.
Yeah.
I honestly do. I think... So, he's 1.6 million now. So that means he was 400,000 on the 3rd of December last year.
Just shows you what's possible. So we should be about 1 million next year. We just need to get Donald on.
Donald, where you at?
Kamala. So I'm going to go out there. I'm saying Rick stays ahead.
Okay. I'm going to say Bryson gets there in the last couple of weeks.
Do you? Oh, okay.
A little bit of a... Yeah, very close, but I'm saying just gets past.
It'd be like, do you remember, like, I don't know if it's like a big thing nowadays, but like, do you remember the race for like Christmas number one, and you would have like, get Rage Against the Machine to number one, and get, whatever song it would be, and get Bryson to number one before Christmas number one. We'll do a whole song. If you need any help, Bryson, we're here to help. I'll bring my friend Donald with us, and we can go from there.
Love the way you're claiming Donald as your friend. He's Bryson's friend.
My imaginary friend who I do an impersonation of.
Okay, so you're sticking with Rick, and I'm going to say that Bryson just gets him at the line.
Yeah. I'm gonna. This is how it's gonna look, right? Rick will be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Bryson will be number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go out and say Danny Maud goes into number 3 and beats Good in at number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think the reason is for Good not moving so quickly in your eyes?
I don't like the big thing with Bryson. And I think what we see with, and one other channel we should probably include in this is the Bryan Bros. I don't know where they are at the moment in terms of subscribers.
Mid 400s, I think.
Are they? Okay.
450ish, yeah.
Let's have a look. I think the big thing with what Bryson's obviously done very well. He's obviously had Trump on his channel now, like him or hate him, whatever it may be. The video's got an incredible amount of views, which has obviously just catapulted him up through there. He's then followed up with like Tom Brady. He's got access to amazing collaborations. When you think of like Phil Mickelson, which, you know, when you look at what Grant Horvat's now doing, those 2v2 series, which if you are listening, Grant, me and Pete will take you on. I think what he's done, Bryson, is he's just had amazing collaboration, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which we're looking at Good, I think, from not sort of watching them as much recently. I don't know whether there's not been that talking point, has there? You know, everyone from my friends at the golf club who don't really watch that much YouTube, who are, you know, maybe a little bit older, they're like, "Hey Matt, have you seen that Bryson with Donald Trump video?" Like, it's talked about, isn't it? And I don't think or I don't know of any videos that they've done where there's been that talking point around them. But then you look at, like, say, what Rick's done. He's done videos with Bryson and other Bryan Bros, Grant Horvat, Good. He's done well in those collaborations as well, which is something that we want to try and really break into next year moving forwards. But I think that's where, you know, we will carry on seeing that phenomenal growth. But where does his next big collab come from? I mean,
what, we're talking Bryson?
Yeah.
That's so difficult to talk about because he could literally go anywhere. You never would have said Donald Trump, would you?
No.
There's no way when he's on the golf course playing with, I don't know, did he play with John Daly just before that maybe? There's no way when he's out with John Daly, if we had a predictions podcast and said who next, anybody said Donald Trump.
Yeah, true.
So he could do anything. The money's there, the budget's there, the connections are there. He could do whatever he wants.
Greg Norman?
That'd be...
He said Break 50 ended with Tom Brady, didn't he? Season 1.
Yeah.
So his season 2, do you know what? Like, he's obviously playing on Live. I think he might go Greg Norman.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Tiger. Do you reckon Tiger would do one?
No.
Wouldn't it be great if Tiger started a YouTube channel? Imagine that.
It would be, but
really tough out there.
I don't think it would be quite as. I don't think it'd be quite as personable as what Bryson's is. I think that's obviously what he's done really, really well.
Yeah.
If you look back 18 months, 2 years ago, Bryson wasn't a very liked golfer.
No.
And he's completely changed that perspective by making it quite a personable channel, by making it fun, engaging.
Yeah.
Tiger would be amazing, but I think it would be one of the few things that Tiger probably wouldn't be as good at as Bryson has been.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So, you're saying Bryson beats Rick. So you're going Bryson, Rick. Who's your number 3?
Number 3. The Legends Tour actually are going to get to 22.5 million.
That's my only worry if they are number 1 by the end of next year. What's it all about?
No idea.
The Matrix is real.
I don't think that is the case. Just to go against you, I'll say good, but
yeah.
we got a different conversation. But Danny Maud's good.
Grant Horvath, just thinking now that he's doing those 2v2 with Mickelson.
That could grow quick.
If he gets some sit, like, you think if, like, imagine Bryson came on with Trump and it was Grant Mickelson versus Bryson and Trump, that would be an epic watch.
Yeah, that'd be unbelievable.
That would be incredible. And if you get Finch and Fryer on as well.
It's mental even having those conversations, isn't it? That's accessible.
Yeah.
To create that video, and like you say, that could just make the channel explode.
I'd like to see, but do you know who would be good? Barack Obama. We talked about him on last week's
You spoke about that last week, yeah.
I think that'd be a good one for Bryson.
Why don't you get that one?
I'll give him a text in a minute.
Yeah, do that.
Hey, B-Rack, what's going on? You want to come down to Warrington, play off winter mats?
Little bit of a bonus question for you before we move on.
Yeah, sure, I'll be there.
Bonus question. Will Pete make it to 1 million next year?
Ooh.
Because he's creeping, isn't he?
Yeah, they're nearly 700,000 now, aren't they? Yes.
It's quite a substantial year to get to the 1 million, but
yes.
Yeah, I think he'll get there as well.
Yeah, I hope he does. He deserves it. They've done incredible things, I think, him and his team this year. That would be fantastic. We would like to get to 350 by the end of next year. That's like sort of my goal in my mind. We're nearly at 250 now, so 100k would be another lovely little top up for us. But yeah, I hope Finch does. He seems to be. I don't know what he's grown. In fact, let me have a look. What he's grown this year.
Did he not say last week? I know he'd had his best year.
Yeah, he
didn't give a number.
Yeah, he didn't give us an actual number, so I'll just go into the matrix here. 1 year. Oh yeah,
107.
107k this year.
So his growth this year was what
10%.
We want ours to be from now until this time next year.
Yes,
literally 107k, bang on, isn't it?
Yes, his is.
Do you think that was more or less?
I thought he would have done more. What's also incredible is that that's 10% of what Bryson did this year.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think I'd love to know. In fact, can you see it just before we get off Bryson DeChambeau? Where's videos?
What are we looking for?
I'm going to see how many subs that Trump video brought in. He's got 13.
Oh, we looked at this at the time.
13.4 million views.
We looked at this at the time. It was silly.
I can't see it. That's amazing.
Let's have a look.
That's insane. Anyway, so I'm saying Rick's going to be number 1. You're saying...
I'm saying Bryson.
Isn't going to be... And you're saying Bryson. Interesting stuff here.
Come on, what's our next predictions?
Let's have a Lukey C. Thomas where we are going. So, obviously, a little bit of a fractured game in terms of the men's pro game now.
It's changing, though.
Yeah,
seems to be.
Yeah.
There's some players coming back to DP and PGA this year.
Well, I'm strangely, I'm quite happy about that because, you know, as I've said in previous pods, it always feels like the DP is just lagging behind and doesn't get the sort of the credit it should do, or doesn't get the caliber that it should do. You know, I think everyone argues, you know, we give you 10 best assets away a year to the PGA Tour, but if you were, you know, thinking of those players from their standpoint, they obviously want to further their careers and they want to go and play on the biggest stage. So that, I think that's a good thing anyway.
So just for people listening, people are now allowed on Live to play DP World Tour.
Yes.
Players coming back are what we've got: John Rahm, Tyrrell Hatton, Sergio Garcia.
Yeah.
Any other notable names you can think of? Got those 3.
Neiman, is he playing?
Yeah, maybe.
Patrick Reed,
yeah, he's
fantastic.
Won.
Great.
Hope he wins a lot.
I hope he wins the Golden Spoon.
But yeah, I think there's 9 or 10 golfers is the number.
Yeah,
probably no more names, but coming back who now will play DP Tour events this year and not just be stuck playing Live with all of their billions. They have paid a fine. they've got to pay a fine, which probably doesn't touch the pocket.
Yeah, I was going to say, Liv are paying the fines from what I gather anyway.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. But
Nope.
So it's good to see. I think those being back, and hopefully that bolsters a little bit of an event, because even when I think what annoys me more about it, just going on a little rant here, but is like these co-sanctioned events, and like say Wentworth, great event, isn't it? Like sort of. You're a little bit younger than me, but growing up you had the HSBC match play. It was always at Wentworth, and you had the likes of Ernie Els would play in it, Tiger would play in it, Mickelson, real big names would come over and play in that. We've now got these co-sanctioned events that we've got the allegiance together, and we're going to get these events like hyper-inflated. No disrespect, but it was Billy Ho. Like, it seems like he's the only one who comes over. Like, and, great that he does, because I think he's a great player and a great character. He's obviously tying it in because he likes to come to Europe. He gets to go and watch West Ham. But it should be sort of like we guarantee. And obviously you can discount Rory because he's a European already. Why are we not getting Scheffler, Xander, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, any of those sort of bigger players, Patrick Cantlay, why aren't they coming over? Because it just feels like it is literally Billy Horschel every year who's lifting all the weight for it.
Yeah.
Which, like I say, is a great thing, and great to see him actually win it. So, yeah, I'm quite happy that the players are coming back and playing that bit.
It's coming back together in some way, shape or form. I think next year will be quite a big year for us seeing a bit of change. I might be wrong with that.
I almost hope they don't talk about it and they just get it done.
Just happens.
Yeah, just like, there's no news, right? And then one day, right, we've got it done. Here we go. This is the tour. Bang, done. Like, we don't want to hear about it. Just do something now.
Mm-hmm.
But looking into the future of 2025 in terms of the majors, Thomas, who is going to be our 4 champions? Now, just to put in...
Well, Matt, because I done so well with this last year. I missed 3 cuts.
Oh, yeah.
No, I shouldn't have told you that. I missed 3 cuts.
You did.
So I'm going to have better predictions this year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my fault, by the way. They played poorly. It's not my fault.
Yeah. You picked them poorly. Rory, not won a major since the 2014 Open and PGA Championship. Xander won 2 of the last year's majors, being the Open and the PGA Championship. First-time winner, obviously, as well. I think there's been a first-time winner every year for the last 10 years. I'll have to check that, but... yeah, Scotty won the Masters again, and Bryson won the US Open.
Yep.
So, Masters, who wins that?
Masters, I'm going for Xander gets another major this year, but not a repeat of last year. I'm going for Xander Schauffele getting the Masters.
Okay. Right, like that.
Who have you got? Have you got anyone, or are you making it up now?
No, I'm literally torn between 2 people.
Okay.
And I don't know whether to... It's the hope that kills you.
You're going to say Rory, aren't you?
Yeah, but... I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't do it.
Who's the other one you're torn between?
Scotty.
That's fair.
Yeah. But no one's ever won the Masters 3 times on the spin, which is like the... point.
Yeah.
Do you know? In fact, I'm going to go out on a weird one here. I'm going to go away from them. Neiman wins the Masters.
Okay. He's had a decent record there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a good player. He's coming back and playing a lot of the DP events, isn't he? He's played like the championships and been playing in quite a bit. So I think he does that. So you're going Xander, I'm going Neiman. Who's going to win the PGA Championship?
Just out of names, by the way, who randomly do well at the Masters, Will Zalatoris just turns up at Augusta every time. Has he had just searching now? I know he's had second, maybe.
Yeah, finished second in his first one, didn't he?
And
then obviously he's had back surgery since then.
Yeah, so it's not going as well.
Yeah.
Second, tied 6th. Yeah. Plays well around there. I'm not saying him. It was just a thought that come to my head.
Yeah. So you're going Xander.
Yep.
And I'm going Neiman. Who are you going for the PGA Championship?
PGA Quail Hollow this year. I'm going with Bryson.
I'm going Rory.
Okay.
One round there.
He was my other option, but
Bryson. Yeah, I like that.
With Bryson,
like that. I like that we've not got the match in here as well. Who's going to win the US Open?
Now our boy Rory comes in for me.
Where's the US Open this?
Oakmont.
Is it? Oh, okay. That's where the Ryder Cup wasn't it?
Rory comes in here for me. I was very tempted to do as you said and put him in for Masters or the Open, but I just feel like a PGA or a US Open needs to open the floodgates. I don't think he opens the major floodgates that we're all waiting for with a Masters or an Open.
I'd say the Open's probably his most likely.
We've complained too many times about him not quite finishing the deal.
I'm telling you, I hope it kills you. Okay.
I don't know why I wrote this on my note under Rory, by the way, just when you asked me these questions. I did write for some reason, note to self, I hope I'm wrong.
Wow. Okay.
So I do hope he wins the Masters or the Open, but I'm just going to give him the US Open instead this year.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to go that Scotty wins that.
Okay. I'm also going to say now that I think if Rory does win the US Open, he goes back to back and follows it with the Open.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm having kind of two choices for the Open. Rory, if he wins the US.
Hi, Paddy Power. Can I just only if this comes in though will you take my other bet? But if it doesn't, I'll have a refund if you will, please, mate. Because it's only if this happens. Yeah. So fingers crossed. Okay. So you've gone Bryson for there. So you've got Xander. You've then gone Bryson.
Yep.
US Open. You've just gone who?
Rory.
I'm going to go Scotty. So I've gone Neiman. Who did I say for the PGA? Totally forgot now.
Scheffler, didn't you?
No.
Oh, no, you said Scheffler for
US Open. Yeah. Oh, Rory. I said Quail Hollow. Rory. Yeah. So I've gone Xander, Rory, Scotty. Mm-hmm. You have gone
Xander, Bryson, Rory.
The Open Championship, the final major of the year. It's at Portrush, which is just going to be absolutely epic. I cannot wait for that week. Shane Lowry was the champion last time. It was such a good Open last time there.
Yeah, it was really good.
So good. Who's doing it? I don't think Rory does it there.
I don't think he does either. Unless he wins the US Open. If Rory wins the Masters, he does the Grand Slam.
If Rory wins the Masters, what basically happens is he wins every week without. He doesn't even actually have to pay. There's a concession of win.
Yeah, he just starts on Sunday, 20 under.
I think if he wins the Masters, he retires. It's not getting better, folks. I'm off.
I'm done. The Open at Portrush. I've gone Jon Rahm.
Oh, I've not.
Oh, I thought we matched up.
No, I'm going Tommy.
The names that were on the tip of my tongue when I was looking at this as well were Tommy, Shane again, and Rory. They were kind of the thrry other names.
I think Rory blows it out of proportion there. Obviously, he put it out of bounds, didn't he? I think it's too close. He's he's a lovely lad, and he's I wouldn't say like a people pleaser, but I think the moment will be too he'll want to do Ireland proud, and
I do feel like there'll be a bit of a weight off his shoulder though, just from
winning the US Open.
Once he's won the Masters, the US Open, and the PGA Championship, he'll be fine. No, I think the live stuff's died down, and that's been a huge weight on his shoulders. Yeah, being kind of the spokesperson, what it seems like for the PGA Tour. He obviously had. We would assume a couple of personal issues at home last year, which seem to be now put to bed, and it's fine.
Just a little bit spat that.
Argument over fish fingers apparently were burnt. So hopefully he comes into this year a little bit fresh. Yeah. A little bit more motivated, head on golf a bit more, and wins one or two things. But yes, back to the Open. Jon Rahm.
So
I'd love to see, but I would, again, I'll tell Paddy Power this, I would rather see Fleetwood, but I think we'll see Rahm.
So if my US Open bet don't come in, what I want, right? And if it comes in, you pay me. If it doesn't, I don't pay you. That's just how it works. I think Tommy, he's got to. I think a PGA Tour victory comes between
now and then,
February and May.
Okay.
Tommy wins.
Any particular one you think he's winning?
No.
No, come on, it's a prediction episode. Give me one.
I think I'll have to give you the name of them. He's not going to win early, those ones that are out in the Bahamas. Tommy will win something like Bay Hill.
Okay. That little Florida swing.
Yeah, I think there'll be something there where he gets involved, he gets in the mix, and he gets the job done there, and then that just catapults him to win the Open. So I think he wins round there, and I think he goes on to win the Open.
So back to your question before on my predictions.
Yeah.
Is I don't think there's a first time winner again this year, but you do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My actual little bonus question was, will there be a first time winner again? Which we've answered in the form of yes for me and no for you.
Unless Rory wins the Masters, the PGA Championship, and Fleetwood comes in and wins the US Open. It's a Paddy Power bet.
Yeah.
Then there's a first time winner.
Right, okay. Who will... here's another little bonus question for you. Out of... I'm just going to get the official, the crooked World Golf Rankings up. Who do you think out of the top 20 players in the world, and we're going to put Bryson in there, and Jon Rahm.
Okay.
Who do you think out of those, so these people are, as it stands now, Scheffler, Schauffele, McIlroy, Morikawa. I think Morikawa's going to do well this year.
Yeah.
Aberg, Wyndham Clark, Matsuyama, Hovland, Fleetwood. Oh, DeChambeau's top 10 in the world, yeah. Cantlay, Thigala, Keegan Bradley, Russell Henley, Roadhole Rob, Tyrrell Hatton, Billy Horschel, Jon Rahm, Adam Scott, and Sam Burns. So we don't need to actually add Rahm and DeChambeau in. Out of all those, who's going to have the worst major performance? Or who's going to have the most missed cuts, because then we'd be into ties or whatever. Who's having the most missed cuts out of all them?
Keegan Bradley.
Yeah. Easy picking it. He's got the Ryder Cup on his mind.
Yeah.
He'll be thinking about...
Have you seen, by the way, just as you read Tyrrell's name, I think it's on the Live website. You know, when you spoke about our coach profile at Trafford the other week, he's got his kind of player profile. One of the questions is, what's your most enjoyable round of golf? And his answer was, I'll tell you when I have it. Yeah, absolute misery. He's making
quality answer that.
He's making millions and billions, and he goes,
"It could be like a Sunday night with his dad."
He's like, never enjoyed a round of golf, mate. Crap game, hate it. How many clubs you snapped this year, Tyrrell? Can't count.
I don't think he snapped any. He's a professional thrower. If you get good at throwing clubs, you don't.
They don't break, do they? Not.
Yeah, you know where the bend points are and how to get them going.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Keegan Bradley.
Keegan Bradley is my shout.
Okay.
A lot of predictions going on today.
Yeah, what's predictions, Paul Tom? Kind of in the name. I'm going to say Russell Henley has more. Okay. You're Bradley and Henley. Okay, right.
So if they miss all four cuts, it's just a case of which score was worse.
Yeah, who had the biggest chop.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so we've got our major winners, Tom. We know who's going to be the number one in YouTube golf in 2025. What's 2025 going to look like for Matt Fryer when he's playing his PGA competitions? So this is
the big stuff.
Yeah. We've obviously done a series over on the main channel where I'm trying to improve to win my first PGA comp next year. Now, looking at it, we might get some comps in early January. There is an overseas Pro-Am that we're potentially looking into. And then there's pretty much, I would say, March, April time, isn't it?
Yeah,
and we're looking at doing this up until the Open qualifying, and then, you know, depending on how we've gone, carrying on in some shape or form from there. So, knowing that, we've probably got about 10 events before Open qualifying. Just to give you some context, we played 2 events last year. One was 18 holes, the other one was 5 because we got
It was
rain.
wet.
Yeah, we got called off the course because we live in England and it rains a terrific amount. So we played 5 holes and that didn't finish.
It was middle of summer. Don't know what you expected.
It was like September.
September.
Yeah.
It was a wet September.
In that one competition, my first one back after Open qualifying. So Open qualifying was my first comp. I shot 4 over there, sort of finished middle of the pack. The winning score I think was 6 under there, and then there was someone on 2 or something like that. But in my first PGA comp back, which is at Bolton, there was 20 players. I finished tied 11th. On 4 over par with a winning score of 2 under, so I was 6 off the pace. I did finish with 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes as well.
Bottle job.
Yeah.
Matt McElroy.
British gas was called, and we quickly ejected ourselves from any chance of being near the top of the leaderboard. 2 questions.
Go.
Will I win a comp in those first 10? And how many times do you think it will take me to do so if I do it?
Okay, I'll send this into Paddy Power. See what they'll do on Build a Bet.
Yeah. The odds are always terrible anyway, aren't they? So,
So are we all local? Are we playing full local region this year, or have you got any other plans?
Yeah, I think for the first ones, bar, like I said, there might be this overseas pro-am, which will be Portugal, probably Villamora, I think it is, which are courses that I've played anyway already. So they will be, local courses around the north-west region of England, spanning from sort of where we are. Manchester, Liverpool is the line going up towards. It's pretty much Scotland's the cut-off, so you've got some Lake District stuff.
District,
But sort of Manchester-y, Lancashire-based stuff.
Okay, I'm taking this question very serious. How many times have you been in the red on the In the Red series this year?
Twice or 3 times.
Can you remember golf course or golf courses?
Prestwick.
Yep.
I think Irvine I finished level.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Dumbarnie maybe was one of them.
That's a good knock.
And I think there's been a 2 under and 2 100s.
Okay.
But with all those as well, we played them generally like an extra 500. Like we played championship courses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which you don't get so much around here.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need the 2 to 3 under.
Yeah.
Is generally the mark.
Yeah.
There are a couple of. It all depends on which ones you enter, because there's some good players knocking about who just go and shoot the lights out of 8 and 9 under.
Yeah.
So I think be tactical with which ones you enter. Promise me that you'll actually work on your game, because I think the Matt Fryer of old, I would be quite confident in saying yes.
Yes.
I'm talking 3 years ago, Matt Fryer.
When we were in lockdown and hitting balls into a bedsheet.
Lockdown, yeah. Maybe weren't quite as busy and it wasn't quite as high maintenance making the videos.
Yeah.
I would say that Matt Fryer, no problem. I'll probably give you 4 or 5 events in and you've won one. Okay. I'm going to say, providing you work on your game, and again, this is in my Build a Bet. If he doesn't practice enough, it doesn't count. I want my money back.
Practice sessions, over 10 hours of bank practice a month.
By the way, how many hours did Pete say he practices?
Oh no, that was insane, wasn't it? Well, it doesn't do anything.
It's ridiculous. I don't know where those 15 hours come from.
All the staff do is work for him, and then he just turns up and horses around on camera.
Press the record button, lads, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. The talent has arrived.
Okay, only because...
10 hours a week he wasn't he?
Was it 10? Yeah,
I think he said 10 hours a week, which is just... I've not done 10 hours practice this year.
I think you're gonna get a 3 under on round number 8.
Okay.
And you will...
lose by 2.
Yeah. and you'll be gutted because someone shot 9 under.
What do you mean? You just... What? No, DQ him. I saw him cheating.
Okay, I'll say you win on round number 8.
So I will win, and it'll be on round number 8. So we need to pick the course wisely for number 8.
You do.
Okay, that's interesting. That I feel like if I do, like, like I say, I think practice is the key. I know where the areas, like especially doing through all the tour tiers stuff, like you look at, like when we played with Coxie, I wouldn't say like the game was a million miles away. Graham's obviously a very, very talented player, won over 50 times on the local circuit. And you look and go, well, can I do what he can do? Yes. When we played with Fraser at the Dukes, which was released, I think, last month over on the main channel, he was a very good player. And obviously he kept, I wasn't blown away by him, but obviously the scores at the end translated into him really beating me. I think I finished 11 over in the end, but up until I think it was the 11th hole, I think I was one in front.
Yeah.
And then had made a complete mental error and just blew that round out of proportion, and then everything. It was just it's just totally unravelled. It was very hard conditions, very windy, and the sort of the unravelling coupled with the hard conditions just made it look a lot worse than it was. If I would have not had that massive mental lapse in trying to hit a 3-wood 270 into the wind and just gone 4-iron wedge, which I did with the layup one, I probably would have hung in there with him all the way, because the mine probably would have been better. So I think the game's there or thereabouts. We are trying to get a psychologist on the podcast at the minute, so we've been speaking to Carl Morris, and he's hopefully coming on.
Need more than a psychologist.
Yeah, need a team of them.
Anyone know a hypnotist?
Yeah. But he's got an app as well. I've actually discovered it yesterday, about psychology and stuff and how to approach it, some little things. So I'm actually gone into that, which I think a year ago I would have seen it and gone, meh, not interested, as where I've downloaded it last night and started actually listening to a few bits, and you go, okay, that's interesting.
That's a good start.
So I think the intent is there. I think the sort of the hunger for me getting better, I'm hitting more balls in the studio now. I'm actively trying to find my new coach. We're trying to get a video with a coach that if it happens, I'll probably not hit a golf ball, because I'll just stand there in awe of him, just talk a bit more at me, please. So I definitely think, the sort of the hunger and the want to win is there. It'll be
guitar again.
I know, yeah. I shouldn't touch those springs.
In reality, Matt, my opinion doesn't matter. Do you think you're going to win?
Yeah.
And where will it be?
I don't know the schedule.
What type of sort of course will it be at? Or is there anything where you think, is there a course around us where you think, if there's an event there, I'm going and I quite like it?
Yeah. I don't, do you know, the sort of, what would you call it? The curse almost, or how we've been blessed. We get to go and film at amazing golf courses, don't we? So I've not really played anything locally, and you look at some of the courses, and no disrespect to them, but they're not courses that we would choose to go and film videos at generally. Like I say, we're very, very fortunate, and very thankful that we get to go to amazing places. But I don't know. There's a few maybe. I think a course that suits me would be.
Dino Falls.
Yeah, not the one with the volcano, the other one. I think somewhere where it's not it's an absolute smash and gouge course, and it's not super long. I think the courses that require you to maybe just think a little bit more, plot it round. So when you look at those rounds that in the red where I've actually done well and shot level or played well, it's not just been whack the driver, wedge it close.
The type of places, and again, the local PGA don't go to these places, and I think they could really if they tried, but generally go to sort of golf clubs, members clubs.
Yeah.
And it would be unrealistic to expect some of the amazing golf courses like Formby or Birkdale.
Oh, yeah.
But, if they were to go to a sort of resort type course in the summer, so you'd Formby Halls and...
Yeah, I think there is one there.
There's the Carden Park, Wychwood Parks. I think that'd be a decent sort of course for your game.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the type of course I'd expect you to do well at. I know you play a lot of links, but that's unrealistic to expect around there.
Yeah.
You'd play much better around a Formby Hall type course than a more... Even if we use Warrington as an example. I know Warrington, like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
But the standard members club that can be a little bit fiddly if you don't know your way around, you're probably better at a resort type course, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, where bit of undulation on the greens, fast greens. I like, as long as it comes down to like who can hold putts instead of whacking it. I think we will be there. Yeah. So yeah, I hope so. I'm, I really want to do it. It'd be great to actually complete it. And then see where we go from there. What could happen with the playing. Is it, as I said the other week, I'd probably get my PGA Tour card if I did get my win. Look at the blank look.
What are we doing next? Listeners' questions.
In a second, yeah. But one little bonus question on this then. Obviously, we've got those 10 events leading up, or 10-ish events leading up to Open qualifying. And I think, by the sounds of it, I know Pete's obviously doing it. Carter said he is. I think Rick is as well. And we will. Do you think either of us four make it through to final stage of Open qualifying next year, and who, if so?
Through to final stage?
Yeah, so get through round one, because Pete said last week we should all do it.
Yeah. Do I think anybody will? Unfortunately, I think the answer is no.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. Apologies, don't get offended. Not because you're not good at golf, just because there's other people who are better.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's the honest answer. There's some... You think of the likes of... And he's an amateur who's a club champion. Think of the likes of Joe we played with earlier this year.
I did beat him.
I know you beat him, but I'm just saying, and that's
so me and Joe are getting through then.
Joe's in it. Yeah, you and Joe back final qualifying together. I think there's just some really talented golfers out there. I don't think there's any question that you all have the ability on your day. It's just trying to make it your day, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the difficulty of it in reality. Yeah. So sorry, everyone, but no, not this year.
If I don't get through, Carter gets through.
You think Carter's I know he's done it once before?
Yeah.
You think he's got more of a chance than Pete?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pete builds it up too much in his head. Like he said, it was just like, this big thing, and obviously he's got everything. Like, I think the good thing for our series is there's multiple chances, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you go, will I win my first pro event? There's 10 chances along the line. Will I get to the Open? Well, if you mess up the first one, game over.
Yeah,
got to wait another year. So there's, it's one roll of the dice, isn't it? So, and if, it'd be great if you can find a way to channel sort of having no cares and no expectations about that particular round, which I just think is very, very hard, isn't it?
Send them the app.
Yeah, will do. Here you go. Get on this app, la. Okay, so we've got major winners. We know who YouTube's number one golfer will be next year, and we now know that I will win a PGA local North Region event within 8 of the starts. Tom, before we get into some listeners' questions, do you think that... It's a big one. Cool. You will play any events next year, and will you beat me in any?
If I do tee it up in events, then again, Paddy Power, I will beat you in them.
Okay.
Or in at least one.
Yeah.
Or multiple. I do want to play more.
Yeah.
And I say this every year. Unfortunately, coaching, they do all the events pretty much on the same days.
Yeah.
And I know last year, I think every event was on a Monday.
Yeah.
Well, I coach 10 to 11 hours on a Monday.
Oof.
It's tough to take that day off.
Yeah.
I do want to look at some more, maybe not the PGA North region, but just some that maybe fall on Fridays and Thursdays. Not quite the PGA, but I know there's little alliance events and stuff. I do want to play a little more.
Okay.
It's maybe one of my...
So you're saying yes, and
if I play them,
yeah, you will beat me. We'll make it happen.
I'll tell you what.
We'll find an event where
I will play 3.
Okay.
I'll commit now to say I'll play 3.
Yeah. We'll tie the schedules together, and
yes, I will win.
You'll beat me in each one.
I'll win 66% of those games.
Okay, right. Okay, so you're winning 2. Interesting. Me likey. Right. On to some listeners' questions before we finish with our golfing wishes, Tom.
Okay, we've got Benjamin as a player who also has the Mizuno 243 in the bag.
Well done, sir. Benjamin, top man.
I would love to hear your views on the irons.
I can't see them right now. They're in the other room, so...
Idiot.
Yeah, very nice signs. I am actually testing some new ones right now.
Right now?
Right now. Not right now. Can't see them.
Nope.
But yeah, very, very nice. Obviously, bladed looking iron, aren't they? Minimal cavity on them. Everything you want from a sort of player's cavity set, as I would sort of class them. I don't have the 4-iron because there's not as much help as I would maybe like there. But overall, yeah, a very good iron. Feel great, look great, and perform great. But I am, like I say, we've got some videos coming out in January because they've got 3 new sets coming. No, 2 new sets coming. And there is a 3rd later on down the line from memory. So yeah, I've got 2 sets that we could be changing our golf clubs to.
Decisions. John Lido 7. How much do you think the mental game comes into it when comes into it at lower handicaps, like below 6?
Massively, yeah. I think the sort of differentiator between let's say a 0 handicapper, a 5 handicapper, then a 10 handicapper is a lot of like strategy based stuff. So your 0 handicapper will miss in the right places, they'll up and down, they won't be taking on shots that they know has a very, let's say a 10% outcome, as you go up through the handicap system because of a sort of lack of awareness or knowledge of how, to plan around. You obviously, if you're a higher handicapper, you may be getting into it, or you're not like fully au fait with your skills, so you don't think, well, if I hit it over there, that'll leave me an easier chip. You're thinking more like, I'm going to slice this or duff this or whatever it may be. So yeah, I think like you're good golfers, you look at, and it shows in the PGA Tour or whatever it may be, and Tiger's obviously the greatest example, isn't he? He wasn't the best at absolutely everything, but he had that fear factor, and he had the mental toughness to get the job done every time, and hence why he, if you took his mind versus number 2, like Phil, let's say, you would say he was a scratch handicapper in the mentals, where Phil would maybe be a 5, hence why he won so many more times at him. So yeah, it does come in massively, and it's probably one area I think that doesn't get practiced, doesn't get looked at enough, doesn't get talked about enough. And I think some of the videos that we've done recently are like, right, well, just look at your strategy. How can you do that and get quick wins as well?
Yeah, I always remember that feeling when you got to a lower handicap, if you make a double early on in the round and you feel like most of your handicap's gone. That was a difficult switch. If the handicap got lower, you played off 2 and you double the second. Initially, it feels tough to recover from.
But you would always go, okay, well, I know I'm capable of making 4 birdies as well out here.
But I think that's where the 6 handicapper can be in a little bit of a grey spot. They don't fully feel confident in a load of birdies yet.
Yeah.
Not quite there. But at the same time, I think, just speaking to people when coaching, I have a lot of people tell me they don't make enough birdies. And the reality is you're making too many doubles.
Yeah.
The scores I was just going to say, built up of a lot of birdies. The scores are built up of no blow-up holes, no 6s, 7s, 8s.
Yeah,
that's
the
really
Shot Scope have got something really good on birdies versus doubles through the handicaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and find it whilst you get us another question. But yeah, it is basically like everyone thinks, they make loads of birdies, but actually they just make less doubles.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. I've got it.
Go on.
So birdies v bogeys versus doubles per round. So birdies for a 0 handicap 2.3, doubles 0.2. If we went to a 15 handicapper, 0.3 birdies are made and 4.6 doubles are made.
Have we got a 6-ish handicapper there?
So a 5 handicapper, 1.2 birdies and 1.4 doubles.
Exactly. So that's where it's made up. It's not a case of going and making all the birdies. It's just don't mess up somewhere.
Yeah, eradicate those silly mistakes.
That comes to your sort of decision making and course management, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Timmy Stables.
Timmy.
New putter time. Should I get a TaylorMade Spider or a Scotty Cameron Phantom or possibly a Lab?
Those Lab things are so ugly, aren't they?
Spaceships.
Yeah. I couldn't give you should buy this one. What I would say is go and try them all out and have a fitting. I think with putters very much, like I change my putter like the weather changes here in England. But for me, the big thing, like obviously you can, like lengths got to be one thing that no one looks at. It used to be 35, now it's 34. I have a 33-inch putter. Will not go above that because I know how my setup is, where my arms hang, and it fits perfectly. If I get 34, I've got to alter that. So getting the length right is massive to start off with. But then it's when you put it down, what does it feel like in the hands, which is obviously what the grip's like. Is that the right grip for you? You could have a Spider with 3 different grips on. One will feel awful and one will feel great, and you'll go from there. And then what does it look like to you? I think, as we start to actually have our putting stroke involved, we can manipulate it and will stroke have the same tendencies, so something that will help you out there. But yeah, go and try them. There's no you should get this one. Lab are obviously all about you can't
miss.
You can't. Yeah, it's weird because Finchie's got one and he misses.
That means he can't aim.
Yeah, I've never had one. So yeah, go and try them out, get a fitting.
The grip thing's a strange one because there's not a huge variety to be able to try that out, is there? You've got to go. But I know exactly what you've said in the past. I've gone and changed my grip and it's felt like a new putter.
Yeah.
Complete stroke changes and it feels good, but you don't get to try that a lot out in retail shops or fitting places.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and you could sort of alter, couldn't you? You could try it with something, see what it looks like to your eye. I would generally say everyone should be working towards mallets as well anyway for forgiveness and alignment aids, because everyone aligns it pretty poorly, so that's going to help you. And then the forgiveness, we don't think about misstrikes with a putter, but it happens.
Timmy, basically do what Matt's done, get all 3 and just tinker, change when you fancy it. Yeah. So you've got to get all three of them, and then you've got to get 3 variations with different grips.
Yeah.
So you only need 9 putters. And then you'll be fine. You can go and play.
I'm actually trying a putter out at the minute.
Never been less surprised at a sentence.
It will, it's obviously a Mizuno putter. Wait till they come out next year.
You're going to make more than 100% putt from 6 feet.
I don't.
You can't make 102%, Matt.
I can.
You make them all anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, these are interesting.
Where are we? We are Crotino. Should ball fittings be more of a thing?
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Most companies do them now, but it's not. I don't know. Titleist do a really good job of their ball fittings. I think Callaway, Mizuno do theirs. TaylorMade do, but it's not something. They're almost like a throwaway item, aren't they? Just go in the pro shop and grab some balls. But yeah, once you find the ball that is appropriate for you, I think there's too many golfers that sort of like Pro V1, they fall into that category and go, I'm playing the Pro V1 because it's the best ball. When actually there's probably an AD33, a JPX ball, or something out there that they might benefit more from. So yeah, I would 100% advocate that everyone.
I just play with whatever I find.
Yeah, don't do that. Would go and get a ball fitting, and then you just it's one less variable as well, isn't it? If you have a fitting, you go and have your driver fitting. If you get your ball fitting and say, right, okay, well this ball, the RB Tour from Mizuno, that's the best one for me, right? I play with it instead of going, I'll try that Callaway this week, because then how does it react when you're hitting your chips in? You're expecting it to spin, it didn't spin as much. You then hit driver longer, you reach a hazard that you didn't think you could. So it's another thing that, and again, that's where your good golfers, you don't see them changing golf ball, do you? They're not here, there and everywhere. It's one ball and I play with that ball.
Mm-hmm. Mods 1031, are there any new blades coming out? I'm going to assume we'll talk Mizuno, because yes, there will be blades across the board.
Not right now.
No, I don't.
No, because they released the MP series, didn't the MP24 series that came out then. So
the 2 that you say are coming out in Jan, neither of them are blades?
No.
Okay. And then from other brands, I have no idea. Sorry, Mods. Not quite up to date with what's coming out this year.
I saw a blade from someone the other day on one of Insta somewhere that looked quite nice. Blades always generally look good though, don't they?
As it's a prediction episode, do you predict any blades will come out?
I predict, quite a few episodes. Yeah,
predict some blades, but I don't know. No idea what.
Yeah.
Liam Taz Tyra. I think he must be most questions sent in, by the way.
Liam?
Yeah.
Just loves it, doesn't he?
Good work, Liam. Keep sending them. Do you think players would benefit from having more on-course lessons rather than studio lessons?
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those, isn't it, that unfortunately from I think it was my dad that talked about this on a podcast. It's a little bit of like you're trapped in the cycle from the coach's standpoint that, you know, obviously everyone's a business and we've got to make money to pay your bills and things like that. So you would, like yourself, you would have 5-10 lessons come through every day, and you go, okay, there we go, and you know, those lessons that you give are good lessons, and you get your player in a good position, and then off they go, and let's see if you can you know, take what you've learned here out to the golf course. Now, if we did have time and the facility, like if let's say
even just daylight and course, there's so much to go with it.
Over here, we're not great. Like, let's say if in my perfect scenario now, if I stopped YouTube tomorrow and they went, right, okay, you're going to go back and be a golf coach, I go, I'm going to a resort course, like America most likely, that has a fantastic practice facility. We've got a short game area, we've got a range, we've got a putting green, but we've also got a course maybe that has 4 holes on it, like the coaching loop, we call it, or something, where Tom comes and meets me in the morning. All my lessons are 2.5 hours long, and the first hour or first hour and a half, right, Tom, let's go to the golf course, let's see what you do.
Yep.
Because, you know, from like your standpoint at Trafford, I would come in and say, I've been slicing my driver, I've been doing this, and we sometimes maybe don't feed the best information back to the coach, and we work with what we got and what we see there.
Tell you what's a lot better now is the ability across multiple platforms for players to track their game and not be able to sort of lie about it. You've got ShotScope, you've got Garmin, you can put things at the end of the club's Arcos. I have a lot of my students now who are logged into Arcos. I see their game.
Yeah.
That's where we're really benefiting these days, is I can see before they've even walked in for the lesson that they've missed every fairway right.
Yeah.
So there's no misjudgment there. I had an interesting one playing with a student, not last week, the week before, and we come off and I kind of said to him, how poorly did I hit driver then? And he thought back and he went, yeah, quite poorly. I think I shot one over, but it didn't cost me a shot.
Yeah.
So now the interesting take there is if I was going for a lesson tomorrow and wasn't fully aware of how that worked and what it cost me, I would have walked in and said, we need to sort my driver out. But we actually didn't. It didn't really cost me anything. It wasn't costing me much because I missed in the right places.
Yeah, did you hit it close enough then from there? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I would generally say, you know, if you can ever, and if it's an investment that you know, from the punter's side, thinking, shall I buy 10 lessons or shall I buy 5? Or they've actually got a playing option here where Tom takes you out on the golf course for 2 hours and it costs the same as 3 lessons, let's say. I'd probably opt for that one because you could go, right, okay, well, in that 2 hours that Tom's going to take you out for, he's going to see every facet of your game and can give you just little pointers on those. It might be like a strategy thing. It might be, okay, when you're teeing off with driver, make sure it's the right height every time. Make sure when you're hitting your irons and you aim here, you need to do this a little bit on technique. But yeah, that would be one thing that I definitely would advocate.
Yeah, I think Liam, I'd say the same. It's a case of by the time you think about the barriers, and we say there's daylight, there's tee times. I generally, in the summer, I'll go out on the golf course maybe 3 times a week with people I teach, and that's about the capacity.
Yeah.
But in reality, I can teach 28 people a week.
Yeah.
Coming in for swing lessons. It's just it's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
But definitely try and mix it up.
Yeah.
And again, I say to a lot of people I teach, we need to get out on the course, and they just don't find the time.
Yeah.
2.5 hours out of the afternoon, they've got to take half a day off work. It's difficult. So it's better to go for the swing lesson or the range lesson rather than nothing.
Yeah, times. Yeah.
But is it absolutely ideal? I wouldn't say so.
Very true. We've actually had an email in for the podcast as well, info@mattfrygolf.co.uk if you want to send them over here. This one comes from Stuart Smith and he says, I've been playing golf more frequently year on year. Absolutely love the game. I've currently got a points-based membership in my local club which offers me the chance to acquire a handicap and also play in certain comps. Starting next season, I want to take this to the next step, playing comps. However, I've never played in a proper comp and I would like some advice. I know the question is a little bit vague. Do you have any hints or tips for someone just starting to play comps? I believe I have a good understanding on the majority of rules. However, I'm sure in the heat of battle there will be instances that will throw me, and the RNA rules are as clear as mud. Another worry I have is because I have never had a handicap. I would say I probably play about 22. If I start playing comps and can shoot a good score every now and then, being labelled a bandit, etc., being the new person entering these comps, hopefully my fears are all unjustified. But any advice from both of your experience will be great. Well, what I would say on that, firstly, like the rules side of it, just you can get the app on your phone, can't you?
Yeah.
And if you're playing with a stab, and one thing, like how many, if we got 100 golfers who are playing in the Saturday comp down at the local club, I would hesitate, and I'm being fair here, 50% of them don't know the rules fully.
And
so
even if they do, you call someone from your group and say, guys, do we know the rule? You search it on the app. We watch tour pros pulling referees over all the time.
Yeah, you're just looking for it. Yeah, and the chances of you actually, you know, coming into one of these infractions as well is not massive. You know, if you hit it out, if you hit it out of bounds, you tee off, like you hit the shot from where you've just hit that again under penalty.
Yeah.
If you're going into the water hazards, it's finding, you know, is it a red or a yellow stake? Okay, well, what's my drop here? Is it where it's gone in? Is it 2 clubs lengths? Can I play from back where I was originally? And then there's some other trivial rules that, again, like you say, get the app on your phone and you'll search it there. In terms of being labelled a bandit, everyone's got to start somewhere, and what will happen and what you will find is that if you're going into this competition and you've not got the handicap, you're not going to be part of the comp anyway. They're not going to put you in there with no handicap and say, all right, okay, Stuart, we're going to put you off 22 because that's what you think you're off, but actually playing off 16, you go win, everyone's annoyed. What they'll do is give you the opportunity to go out with me and Tom, let's say, who are the other 2 people in the comp. You then collate 3 scores, you get your handicap, and it'll be on the harsher side than it will be on the more lenient side, for that reason that if they were to give you 28 when you think you're off 22, that situation where you go out and win everything, great that you're thinking that you are going to go out and do that and being labelled a bandit, good to see where the head's at. But the handicap system is going to be, you know, more towards, well, we'll put you a little bit lower and you can work your way back to your comfortable thing. So I would suggest, you know, playing with a few people, you know, who have already played in comps, you know, a couple of friends or associates at the club who have played a few comps, so they know what's going on. You'll be comfortable with them as well, and then the handicap thing will sort of sort itself out as well.
Just the other thing we can mention with the bandit thing is nowadays, and I know we don't agree with this, but you can submit casual round cards.
Yeah,
so you could get your handicap if you wanted to within 20 rounds all secured. And you don't need to go and win a board comp to get it dropped. If that is genuinely a worry, you don't have to be playing off 22 and go and shoot 10 over on a board comp and get labelled that. Just go and play as many. Go and play as many casual rounds as you want. But
indeed,
I think most of you.
Yeah, and also there's no gimmies in the comp as well, so don't be. You can have that, mate.
Yeah, as long as you don't mark your ball on the green and move it forward 6 inches. You don't drop balls down the hole in your pocket, down your leg, and you don't take gimmies. Yeah, you're not getting called a cheat. You're fine.
Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. So lots of questions there. Like I say, if you have them, fire them over on Instagram when you do see them put out on the Matt Fryer Golf Instagram, and head to the pod. We will. Someone said you don't answer them anyway. So I wonder if they've actually listened to the pod.
So they've not made it to 1 hour and 13 minutes.
So
anyway.
We'll go back, and the ones we've answered, we obviously pick the ones that we think are the juiciest. We will put answered on the pod.
Yes, we will.
There. So we'll do that.
We didn't answer his on the pod though, because he just said we don't.
Yeah, so there you go. You didn't get answered. info@mattfryergolf.co.uk if you are going to email those in, and also with your 3 golfing wishes. Tom, hit us with yours to round us out this week. What are your 3 golfing wishes for 2025? Should we go back and forth? You do one, I do one.
Okay, my first one, and the only real important one, and you can probably tell us all what my number 1 wish is. Go.
You beat me in a comp?
No.
Rory wins
before any conversation today. It would have been the same last year, the same the year before, and the same the year before.
You break 80?
No, I've done that a couple of times now.
I don't know.
We spoke about it last podcast. I've got a WhatsApp group name.
Oh, get a hole in one?
Yep, need me hole in one.
To get a hole in
one.
I
need to get my first hole in one.
Okay, right. Okay, well, mine is that I get my win. I would like to win in a dominating fashion. Oh. I would like to, if I'm rubbing that lamp.
Second place, shoot 7 over par.
Yeah, I give it a good old rub. and I shoot one under, and the other player.
An aggressive rubbing technique.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be my first golfing wish for 2025.
Okay.
Second one for you, Tom. What's the golf genie bringing you?
My second one is I want to play 52 rounds of golf next year.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't... It's one of the goals I want to set out. It's not going to turn out as once a week, but in the good summertime, get out twice, 3 times. I want to try and get 52 rounds in.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. This is a bit of like a wow wish, but I hope, or I wish, if the golfing genie could grant this, I've got one of them, or potentially 2, ticked off. I hope I complete the open rota of courses next year.
Okay.
So I've got Portrush, Muirfield, St George's, and that is it to play.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I get that done.
Which one do you think you'll get? Do you think you'll get Portrush like you got Troon last year?
Already at Portrush.
Portrush is sorted.
I'm playing the Monday after the Open.
Nice.
So that is done thanks to Mizuno. Muirfield, very randomly, my lovely fiance, an employee of hers, or someone who used to work with her when she worked for her other company, her husband has just retired as the secretary there.
Oh.
Random. Yeah. And they got chatting again over something a few months ago, and she said, you'll have to come up and play with this chap. So that's hopefully sorted. And then it's St George's.
St George's, very good.
Which is just in the middle of that. We've basically got to go to France to go and play in it. So yeah, that's my second wish. I would really like to get that done because I think it's proper cool.
Nice. That's pretty much one of the only things that we've agreed on today, because we've disagreed a lot today.
Yes.
My third one was play one open venue that I haven't yet, and I think that would be a Carnoustie or a Troon. One of those 2 for me this year. Okay.
Do you know my other golfing wish?
Go on.
My third and final one, and I've got to empty the ballot for it, is play the Old Course reversed next year.
Yes. Did I see this advertised last week?
Yeah, it comes out on the 9th. I want to do it. I've said to my dad we'll do it if we get in. So it's in April. I'm putting in play the Old Course reversed with my dad would be like a real box tick moment for me. So if you're listening, Links Trust, you, 2 spots for the effers. That'll do. You can come as well if you want.
I was going to say, ask for 3 at least. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, no, you can carry my bag. Right, okay, brilliant. 3. Have you just had your? Oh yeah, yours was play
one open venue.
Carnoustie
or Troon. I'd like to get
take Carnoustie. Yeah, Troon's incredible, but Carnoustie's.
I want to go and play Kings Barnes this year as well.
Yeah, really good.
Well, next year, 25.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Tom, very good year, very good podcast predictions pod there.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, very good to be back. We'll be back next week with a look back on the year, given that it is that time of year with reflections happening. If you have got questions, like say, fire them into info@mattfrygolf.co.uk. Subscribe to the channel, leave us a review on the podcast channels that you are listening on, and follow us on our social platforms. You look like you want to say something.
No, I think you just said it.
Okay, there we go. Guys, thanks for being here with us. And
goodbye.
Yeah, why not watch another one? Just there. Here. Listen to another one. Yeah, anywhere. Bye.